We are live. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of the Sunday Night Show.
Doug tied up. I was tied up. So here we are, Tuesday, and we're still getting booted after the opening. Like we were saying, show me where you can find a number. You got to look for it. You can find it. You know,
Right.
we shut the Arnold Schwarzenegger Festival down. At 300 cases, 200, 300. Shut down state daycares, everything at 500-600 a day. Last week, I think we were over 20-some thousand for the week, Doug. You don't hear a word.
Right.
You don't hear a word. You know, I mean, whatever. It is what it is. But honestly, I feel this new respiratory virus thing that's going around, I think is just another way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to be another bullshit deal. That's what I think, but whatever. Because they're starting it the same way. Well, you have a respiratory virus. You know, you got a viral infection, respiratory viral infection. You know, I know people said, well, they said I got a respiratory viral infection. I'm like, are you shitting me? And you people can't realize. Robbie must have got booted. But, you know, I mean, it brings deja vu, Doug. It just brings back, and it's going around. It's going around.
Right.
But most people I know have it, 3 days and they're done. You know, whatever. It is what it is. So what's good, Doug? We haven't been on in a couple of weeks.
What's happened? It feels like it's been a long time, but we just missed last week. This week we're a little bit later.
We're a little bit later.
Maybe Tuesday's a good day. I don't know.
I think we'll let everybody else decide. I don't know how many people are on. If you're on,
Eight.
Comment over there in the section.
Yeah, because there's the eight of you that are showing we know about. Everybody else, you need to comment.
Yeah, I mean, so please, we might go Tuesday nights, 7:30. Monday nights, we can't go Sunday nights till what, Doug? Up after the first of the year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes.
So it's up to you guys. If you want to go Monday nights, Tuesday nights, let us know. So
Wednesdays are a little tough because
Wednesdays can't happen.
Well, they could, but it'd be awfully
we'd
late.
Have three shows going at one time, maybe. But like I say, I just throwing it out there about this viral infection going around. It's a bunch of shit. It's deja vu. And if any of you ain't seeing it, because I'm just sitting here shaking my head. Same freaking bullshit, Doug. It's got me a little worked up. Same shit. Same response from the medical field. You got a respiratory viral infection. And same, take Mucinex. And then there is an upflare in the last variant, or what is he trying to get thrown off tonight?
I think so. That way.
No, I don't really think they are. I don't hear anything about it anymore, to be honest with you, Robbie. Do you, Doug?
No, nothing.
I don't hear anything because assholes like me, and I'm not saying everybody Facebook, so stay off your little high horse there, YouTube.
Get ready to push the button.
When we're back on YouTube, no, we'll get thrown off tonight.
Right.
I've had issues since, and I did a certain thing there. I'm not spreading medical misinformation. YouTube. Randy Feekins has had some issues ever since he did a certain thing, but there's other people that haven't. But, I don't see the big push for it no more. Nobody's pushing it because they're finding out more and more shit that they don't want you to know. And it's not good. I mean, whatever. Everybody's you all have your own choice out there. If you wanna do it, fine. If you don't want to do it, I don't. Either way, I don't give a shit.
And
You
it's funny you should mention that because on my way home today, I was thinking all the people who died in just the last 2 years. And I was
Yeah.
up to like 18, 19, just people that I could if I start thinking about it, there's a lot more that, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I've never had that.
The two things, Doug.
But
Yeah, you do need to do that. Two things. One is I feel the same way you do about that. We've talked about it. And two, the older we get, the more funerals we
Right.
go to, and the less
Right.
graduations and weddings.
Right.
And
But
losing friends left and right.
if you look at it, the people that are gone, you kind of wonder because it's not like they were, there's some that that they had illnesses and health issues, and they, you just know what's going to come. Some of them
Bam,
went to work, came home, and
man.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. I had this conversation. Now that you're talking about this, I had this conversation this morning, early morning, and I was asked, "You ever regret the way your life went? Changes, this, that, and the other." I said, everything up to now, up to 10 years, 12 years ago, I lived a wild life. There's no doubt two ways about that. I mean, I lived a wild life. What I do regret, the first regret I got, because everything else that happened, Doug, was learning experiences. I won't do that again. I won't, I should have never done that, whatever. But, it's wisdom. One thing I regret is putting my body through when I thought I was Superman. Now
Right.
it's caught up to me. I mean, let's face the facts. I'll put it out in the open. We ain't even supposed to talk about this shit, but I'm just going to put it out there. I've had 9 confirmed concussions, through the years,
Jesus.
and football, in
Racing?
college a little bit. No, not racing, but
You could have Saturday. You never told us how that went.
yeah, crashed and burned, and Larry Justice can't get back on, and
Try the second
fights.
link.
Fights, different stupid shit, but that's paying. It's paying its price now. I believe that's got a little bit. That's got a lot to do with what's going on with me. Some of the things that found, and so I don't have regrets except for I wish I'd have treated my body a little better. So if we got any younger guys out there, you might want to think on Aaron. You might want to think on how you treat your body at 30 years old, because when you get up into the 50s,
You feel every bit of what you did.
yes, and it'll come back and haunt you. The rest of it, Doug, is learning experiences and wisdom that I've gained. You know what not to do and what to do, and sometimes you do it 3-4 times before you realize it's not a smart thing to do.
I agree.
All right, what are we talking about tonight?
Well, we were just talking about this before we went live. The rail strike is back on the table for December 9th.
Yes. I don't think they will.
Why?
I think they'll keep negotiating in good faith. I know there's one company out of 9 that said no.
Right, but if any
Out of
one
9
of
or
them
whatever.
do, all of them do.
All of them do. I understand that, but
here's
I don't.
here's the
I know
problem. They
Biden's stepping in.
they remember this started in October, and they've been working through this since then, and it still hasn't gotten anywhere. So now what?
Well, you want to know my take on it? You're not going to agree with me, but the railroad, according to what I was told, has had record profits this last year and a half.
No doubt, yeah.
But want to cut back the insurance program, cut this and cut that from the workers. They're cutting back on insurance, cutting back on a whole bunch of stuff. And the workers want a better way of life, I guess is what they would call it, right? Where you're not working 24 hours a day, 6-7 days a week.
Right.
They want.
Right. And I have to
I can't remember the technical term. Huh?
I have to disagree on this.
On what?
When
you go to work for the railroad, you're
what you're getting into. I went to work.
Right.
I went to work for a company that was 24/7. I had a phone attached to me, and I needed to answer it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And believe me, it happened all the time, every night.
I get it.
If I didn't want to do that, then I move on to something else.
But here's the thing. Okay, I can understand that and agree with you. You go to work for a railroad, you're on call. I mean, it don't matter. You get some weekends where they ain't going to call you in. You can party, whatever. But there's a lot of times you're on call, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you got to go. And that could be like the derailment up here. That could be, you got to go from wherever, down by you up to here, wherever they call you to. Right. And it is what it is. But cutting their insurance back and different stuff like that, I disagree with when they're making record profits. I disagree with it 100%. I disagree with it. Now the whole country's getting shafted on insurance. I get that and I understand that. But, there's a certain person that I believe, I'm not going to name his name, that we know, Doug, and I know personally, supposed to have a kidney needs kidney transplant. And he was told, not putting you on the list till you get the job. So this is what insurances are starting to control, the medical, and that's straight up fact. And actually it's a big fuck story right now, actually, and I feel really bad for the guy. But, this is insurances and medical fields controlling it. How can you cut their insurance back when they're making record profits? That's one concession I wouldn't give up. I wouldn't give it up. If you want to keep it the same, fine. But I'm not giving up more when you're making record profits.
I agree with that. When it comes
the other
to the
part,
money and things like that.
The other part, you signed up for it. You got to go with it, dude. You signed up. You got to go with it. I don't think the money's the issue. I don't think they asked for a whole lot of money, did they? I don't think the money's the issue.
24% increase.
Was it 24%? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an issue. It's excessive. I'm just going to say that.
Larry made it.
Hello, Larry. I think 24% is way excessive. You're almost, even in this inflation that, our White House says we don't have, even in the inflation that we have, 5%, Doug, 6%, I could see. 24, no, I couldn't see that.
Well, we're going to find out here really, really, really soon.
Well,
Uh,
and we've talked about this. I don't care what anybody thinks. The bears. We talked about this before, with truck drivers. And
mhm.
listen, truck drivers are very essential in this country. Everything you got in your house, and we've been through that whole spiel. But the bear, you're going to see where the bear shits in the woods because truck drivers ain't moving shit if it ain't off a rail, pretty
That's
much.
right. And if you don't have a railroad coming next to your house, you're in
Yeah,
trouble.
I mean, truck drivers, and it it sucks. It's right before Christmas.
Yeah.
That's but it is what it is. We've been through that whole union thing. The one night I went on a tangent for about 20 minutes, and
Hmm.
not all unions are good. Not all unions are bad.
Right.
Uh, but it depends. I didn't know it was 24% raise they went for. It's outrageous. It's just outrageous. I hope there's no railroad workers on here, and if you are, you don't take offense to it. But that's outrageous. You guys make good money, and to ask if you were asking for 6-7%, I'd agree with that because the cost of living and inflation. But 24%, no, no, no. But for the railroad to cut their benefits down like they are, I don't agree with that either. That's uncalled for when they're making record profits.
Right.
So
I agree with that.
48. Well, the thing of it is I believe, Doug, don't they already get that? Don't the railroad already give personal
What?
time, paid time
I'm pretty sure they do.
days?
Yeah.
They get so many sick days, so many personal time days. Uh, whereas Robbie, you're like me. You call off sick today, you don't get paid for the day. Simple. You know,
Right.
you,
Right.
you don't. Hell, we don't even get bereavement time, I believe. But I
Right.
mean, if
Right.
you lose a family member, you don't go to work, you go to the funeral, you don't get paid. I'm in a union, so I don't believe Aaron. He's in electrical. I don't believe if he's off being sick, he gets paid either. You know.
Right.
So I believe the railroad though already gets that time. Uh, they get bereavement time, they get sick time, stuff like that. I could be wrong. YouTube, I could be wrong. Next up, get smacked for spreading uh, train engineering misinformation. You know. Yeah, it's Greg's in the elevator union. Yeah, you don't work, you don't get paid. I
Right.
mean, it used to be in the operators, if you're running a crane, you're guaranteed 40, and machines over a certain size excavators, you're guaranteed 40. But I believe the stipulation is you have to work the day before that holiday, and if there's a day after, you have to work both days in order to get that 8 hours on the holiday. But that's holiday, and that's a guaranteed 40 job, but them are getting far and few between in the operators. So it is what it is, you know. I'd like to I'd like to make 20. I'd love to have a 24% increase.
I would too.
Huh?
Yes, that's good money.
Here's the thing. I want to ask this question. I'm going to go off again because I haven't about it for a while. Who the fuck's fighting for the Social Security? The elders, the elderly people. Where's their, you know? Oh, we gave them 8%. We give them 11% increase in Medicare.
Right.
Medicare. Who's fighting for them, Doug? We fight 15 an hour minimum wage, but yet we're not fighting for the equivalent for our elderly. We're not. Instead, what we did is rob that fund so much that we're defunct and it's going defunct.
Right.
We can't afford to give them these raises. So let's just throw simple numbers, Doug. Let's say somebody's making $1,800 a month, $1,500 a month Social Security, and they got rent or whatever. Even if they paid their house off, they got taxes, they got gas, electric, insurance on the house, car taxes, gas for the car, prescriptions, and then inflation goes up like it does. And this idiot in office says, I care about the elderly, but he don't care. Inflation blows way out of proportion. Now these people got to make choices because we're not worried about them. You want to impress me? Give a minimum wage on Social Security at 12, 30, even 13 an hour, Doug. 13 an hour. It's $2,800 a month, right around. You want to impress me? We're not going to do that, though. No, fuck no. In my mind, we tried to take them out.
Yes.
That's my opinion, but.
So we also have the gas issue that's going on. So leave it up to Peter Ducey. Unfortunately, Beetlejuice wasn't there to answer the question. There's somebody else there to answer the question, which gives the same.
We're supposed to be out of fuel right now.
Right. We don't know what we're doing.
Huh.
Well, listen to this exchange.
So just to follow up, John, on the China issue, why is the White House's line that everybody has the right to peacefully protest and not the U.S. thinks it's bad to lock people up in their houses to stop COVID?
We've made it clear, Peter, that a lockdown is not a policy that we're going to support here. We've come a long way over these last 3 years. Hard to believe, 3 years in terms of treating COVID and preventing COVID. So we've said, a lockdown is not a policy that we support here. But obviously there are people in China that have concerns about that, and they're protesting that, and we believe they should be able to do that peacefully.
Okay. And on the sanctions relief for Venezuela,
yeah,
why is it that President Biden would rather let U.S. companies drill for oil in Venezuela than here in the U.S.?
That's not an accurate take on the president's view.
Earlier this month, he said no more drilling. There is no more drilling.
The president has issued 9,000 permits for drilling on U.S. federal lands, Peter. 9,000 of them being unused. There are plenty of opportunities for oil and gas companies to drill here in the United States. I'll let Chevron speak for this particular issue of sanctions relief, but our expectation is it won't be a lot of oil coming out of there. It'll have to be shipped to the United States.
Does the president think there's some benefit to the climate to drill oil in Venezuela and not here?
No, it has nothing to do with a benefit to the climate, Peter. Again, there are 9,000 unused permits here in the United States on federal land that oil and gas companies can and should take advantage of. 9,000. And we're talking about one there in Venezuela. Now, look, it remains to be seen how much will get drilled down there. It'll be up to Chevron to decide that, Peter. But as a function of the sanction itself, that oil, whatever product is drilled, has to come to the United States.
Hey, well, hold on. We've been through this a million times. The 9,000 permits that he issued are in shit areas.
Well, you heard him say
That'd be like issuing 9,000 permits to grow corn out in the fucking desert.
So
you're reading again.
So if you heard him right, he said he's issued 9,000 permits, and then he said there are 9,000 unused permits.
That's because not one oil company is going to drill where they want them to drill on them permits. This has been going on for 2 years. Like I say, it's like telling a farmer, we're going to give you a permit to grow corn, but it's out here in a fucking desert.
Right.
I mean, right. It's the same thing. Yes. They took the good parts, the Michelis, can't think of the shale, whatever shale, where all the fucking oil is and all here. And they took that and they did away with them permits. They said, well, you can drill over here. Well, there ain't nothing there. Why would we drill there? Why waste the money and time? I don't understand if people realize what goes into a fracking drill, okay? When you put a fracking drill up, and let's just say, for example, Chapin Road in Berlin Heights, or let's take Chapin Road. Now you got small little bridges, right, Doug, going over a creek, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what you got to do, what a company's got to do is they got to go in there. The whole area gets stripped out and everything. There's so much stone has to go down. They take that bridge, that little bridge going over the creek, and they got to take and drive pile down and redo the bridge because you got horrendous amounts of water trucks coming in, bringing water in, taking water out. You got to build the ponds for the used water to go in. There's so much amounts, and then they got to build the road up if it isn't sturdy enough. They got to. It ain't just going and set a drill up and drill. They might have to redo the structure of the bridges to accept the weight of what's coming in and out on that road. And how I know this is because years back when they were doing a lot of it down around Carroll County and that, our company had 3 pile driving crews that were down there driving pile for these bridges. And so for him to say, well, we have 9,000 permits we issued and they're unused. Well, no shit. They're not going to come in there and spend millions of dollars, not a million, millions of dollars when they know there's nothing there. It's like I say, it's like telling a farmer, I'll give you a permit, but you got to grow your corn out in the desert. He's going to say, I'm not going to grow none of that. But yet they're willing to go to Venezuela and lift sanctions, which is a fucking joke. Open the Keystone Pipeline up, let them drill where they're supposed to, solves your gas problem. But instead, this idiot wants to push for all electric, and all that shit's going to end in January. I mean, it'll be gridlock. It's going to get gridlocked up. Unfortunately, we didn't take Senate.
Right.
Everything will get gridlocked up, and at least it's going to get gridlocked up until hopefully 24. But you can say that you issued 30,000 permits, but the point of it is, well, you say here's a better response that I'd want to hear. Okay, these 9,000 permits, where were they at? Where were they at?
Right.
And what kind of studies were done, and how much oil can we retrieve and natural gas can retrieve out of this, as opposed to the Marcellus, shale? How much, comparison? How much are we going to gain out of this, as opposed to opening a Keystone Pipeline back up and running a second Trump? And the answer is going to be staggering of what you're not going to get out of the permit where they want you to drill. It's throwing. You're throwing money away. That's all you're doing. And I don't know if anybody's seen these fracking wells. If you have, and you're down around Carroll County, you'll see them bridges build up. New bridges going to that. You'll be driving down a farm road. All of a sudden, the farm road off, state route, that farm road will be built up nice and new. And you'll see a new bridge. And then you'll see where it goes into the drill. And the rest of the road's normal. The reason is because the weight of the water trucks, you got to haul water in, you got to haul water out. They got to build ponds. They got to, EPA's incredible on it, But what the fuck do I know? You know what I mean, Doug?
Right. We don't know anything.
No, I mean, we're just common folk down here that we're supposed to listen to this other idiot that they got up there for press secretary now that, and if you guys catch something in the beginning of this speech, when they're talking about COVID, well, we're not for the lockdown. Who the fuck was jumping all over Trump's ass because he didn't lock down?
Right.
The left side. They wanted to impeach him because he was going to kill people for not locking down. And now they're saying it's not our policy to lock the country down. Anybody else catch that?
Well, it gets worse.
Oh, no,
It gets
boy.
worse. Do you know Sam Brinton?
No.
He is the Department of Energy Deputy Assistant Secretary of the Office.
That's why I probably don't know.
Okay. So kind of like the Secretary of Energy. This is Sam. And that's Biden. He's the one that appointed Sam. Now wait, it gets worse. Sam did something.
Bring up our secretary, assistant secretary. What
we're
on shade to work off lipstick.
No, here you go. I'll let Fox tell you all about it.
The Biden administration loves to brag about its diverse slate of nominees. Your actual qualifications aren't really that important. It's more about how you look. But we thought Sam Brinton might be an exception. Sam, an MIT grad and an expert, quote unquote, in nuclear energy, started back in June as a deputy assistant secretary in the Department of Energy. But we quickly discovered that Sam, who goes by the they-them pronouns, might not be the right person for the job. According to a report, there were substantial irregularities during Sam's hiring process, and Sam's gender identity may have taken precedence over actual qualifications. Perhaps the Biden administration chose this former nominee for other reasons. Maybe they were impressed by Sam's lectures on kink, or their interest in pup play, whatever that is. Either way, it looks like Sam's not only unqualified, he might also be a criminal. Brinton was allegedly charged with felony theft last month. Biden's nuclear energy expert apparently stole a woman's luggage at the Minneapolis-St. Paul airport on September 16th. And there's video. Took the luggage, took the tag right off the bag, and ran into an Uber, and then checked into a hotel. And when cops asked if he took the woman's bag, he said, "Not that I know of, but these look like my clothes," quote unquote. And we called Hennepin County, and they confirmed the person arrested matches Sam's first, middle, and last name. We have not independently confirmed this. We really hope Sam is not the same guy who Biden hired. We hope we're wrong. We hope it's a different guy with the same first, middle, and last name. Now, if Sam did do this, that would make this the third transgender U.S. official to have been charged with a crime this year.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey.
Isn't this going great?
Oh, boy. Oh, wait. I don't even. Fuck. Where's Chaz? So we got a trainee as assistant secretary of health. We got a trainee for the energy. Where's the third one at?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Hey, where'd you go to school? Well, I went to kitty chow school because I identify as a fucking furry, Mr. Biden. Well, you're hired. I don't care what you
Right.
got.
We have no furries yet.
Yeah, we have no furries. Come on in. You know, what am I in charge of? The nuclear codes.
Right. And we will get you a litter box.
Yeah, we'll put a litter box right next to them. Unbelievable what we're doing here. I mean, Yep. Yes, you can. Unbelievable what we're doing. We're putting. I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this, Doug. We're putting these people in office. We're worried more about identity and a woke generation than we're worried about checking records, what their credentials are.
Right.
We're worried more about, we want to keep the woke generation happy when, this is supposed to be the Secretary of Energy, assistant to the Secretary of Energy, a specialist in nuclear energy. Give me a break. Is he gonna walk into Davis Best? Hello, guys. What's? I don't even know what to say. There's nothing surprises me,
I noticed. I
want to get mad, but when I do, we'll be off air for a couple weeks.
Well, when Biden decided to take his vacation, he spoke to reporters. This was, I think, last week, and this is when there was some shootings going on. The Walmart shooting in Virginia, and University of Virginia football player, or whatever. He said that it's just sick. It has no social redeeming value, zero, none, not a single solitary rationale for it except profit for gun manufacturers. Now, what he did say was that he believes that he did not say assault weapons or assault style weapons. He said any semi-automatic weapons, and that includes handguns. He wants them outlawed.
Biden?
He's coming after him. Yep.
Hey, he can suck my dick.
Okay.
And here,
right back to him.
Yeah, let me tell you this right now. He can go after all he wants, but we said this a long time ago. If you go back 2 years ago to the original gun bill, semi-automatic weapons were on there to be removed. If you can remember, they were on that.
Right.
They were on that to be taken off.
Right.
Then they started changing a little. Then it was high capacity magazines and a semi-automatic. But if you go to the original gun bill that was put out, and you really got to search, because that bill's changed what, Doug? It changed numbers on us, and we were trying to keep up with it 3 times, wasn't it?
Right. Right. Yeah. Yes.
But the first bill that come out, semi-automatic weapons was coming out. They wanted them off. Then they changed it and went to high grade. Anything with, I believe, 8 or more in a clip was considered high capacity, and then you had to get a military clearance. There was permit, regular permit, military permit, and then all of a sudden that gun bill just went away. As far as him trying to take semi-automatic weapons, he's full of shit. He's full of shit. The same people that want to take that are the same ones that get guarded by him. The same people that don't want to build a wall are the same ones that have walls around their houses, their personal houses. They're a bunch of hypocrites. I hope they do, Dean. I'm allowed to say that. I can say whatever the fuck I want. Yeah, I know there's consequences, especially on Facebook and YouTube. Woohoo. But I mean, he'll never get it. Just like the Japanese said in World War II, we'll never invade the homeland of the United States, because behind every blade of grass is a weapon, and we'll never win. Shapiro said it best. When you turn these veterans loose, when they're sick of it, Doug, and these veterans come out of the woodwork, you're never going to be able to reel them back in until they achieve what they want to achieve.
Right. But get ready for there's new terminology out there, and it is seditious conspiracy.
Well, what's that now?
That is what the 2 folks that were in charge of the J6, whatever they're calling it, they were charged, and it's the first time it's been used since 95, I believe. And they face a maximum of 20 years in prison. And what the law was put in the books for was so that the Southerners that still wanted to fight the government could not. And now they're using that against these people.
Against the MAGA.
Yeah.
So look out. If you wear a MAGA hat, you can be charged with that.
Yeah. Seditious conspiracy.
Well, that's what he basically started with that speech a couple months ago. If you're a MAGA supporter, you're extremist. So that's where it's going. Am I wrong?
No. But, now they found this law that they can now start using. If you go against the government.
What about the fucking Constitution?
Well,
where we, the people, feel if the government's fucking up, we can overtake it. I mean, it ain't worded like that, but.
Right. And I think I don't know. I got to reread the Constitution. I don't know if that means through process we retake it or what.
Well, what process? What are you going to do? Walk into Congress and wait on
elections, recalls.
We're here
whatever.
To tell you in 4 weeks that we're going to overtake the government.
You don't do that. No, but I think that meant through elections, recalls, stuff like that.
So the election's been fucked up how many times in Arizona? So what, we should go overtake that government?
Well, speaking of the elections, do you know what group helped the Democrats more than any other group?
Yeah, Ukraine, by buying the cryptocurrency and donate it back.
No. The college-educated group. I wonder why.
Because they're going to get their shit relieved.
Chris Mines is paying for their college now. They're happy about that.
Yeah, I'll go to work tomorrow because we
remember
pay college debt.
Remember when that first came out, we said that this was an election ploy, and it worked.
And that's why a lot of the younger generation showed up,
right? Because they like that. You're taking
$10,000 in college debt relieved.
Right. Meanwhile,
back at my residence, I'll be getting up and going to work tomorrow morning. And deer hunting tomorrow.
This Amazon and what?
What? Uh-oh, you're cutting out.
Or are we both on
it? You're cutting out.
We both freezing up?
You're back now.
I am not sure what's going on.
Am I back?
Are we back yet?
Yeah, we're back.
I think. Okay. All right. It must be upset. I can tell I'm cutting out.
Yeah, I'm good. Let me know if you can hear us. Let me know if you can hear us. Yeah, they caught up to me telling Biden to suck my dick. Hello.
Yeah. Wow. All right, we're gonna.
We're good, Doug.
Thumbs up. I mean.
All right, we're good. Oh my God.
Okay.
All right. So go on.
So think
the
about
OCD
this.
Kicked in. It took you out of your thing.
Yeah. All right. So Twitter, Amazon, and Facebook all cutting staff. Amazon is cutting right before Christmas.
Yeah.
Tell me about that one.
Well,
how's that happen?
I don't know. Maybe they got slow. Walmart stocks up. I don't know. I got 6 boxes from Amazon today. So
they are.
You want me to tell you what I think it is?
What? I would like you to tell me that.
Amazon, if you really look at it, took off like hell in 2020 pandemic.
Right.
Everybody was ordering Amazon. It went crazy. It went crazy in 21 because we weren't out of the pandemic. Started slowing up in 22 because everybody was sick of being at home and started going out and shopping.
So you think they overemployed?
Yes. Yeah, I think they overemployed and overbuilt. There's like 4 buildings that they were going to build that they put a halt to. You know? So.
They became IRS agents.
Yeah, well, there's 80,000 extra of them, but you know, that's what I think personally. I think that they skyrocketed when the pandemic hit. In 2021, everybody was still riding that pandemic train, and then it started slowly coming down. 2022, everybody said, "Fuck this!" They were out shopping. They weren't buying from Amazon as much. That's what I personally think. I bet you if you look at sales, let's say Walmart, we know Walmart was down last year in 21, Doug. It was reported down. Target was down, JCPenney. Now, I bet you if you look at the end of this quarter and you look at their whole year for Walmart, JCPenney, Target, these places, Myers, you know, all these, I bet you their sales are up and Amazon's are down because people got tired of being inside. They're going back out and shopping again. It's leveling back off. You know, that's personally what I think. And Zuckerberg, I don't know. I don't know why he's laying off staff.
Zuckerberg. So here's a headline that came out when Donald Trump, by the way, has declared that he was going to run. They came out with this headline, and this is what I'm trying to tell everybody, that you know, for your average person that comes and reads this, it makes you think. So here's the headline.
We're
That came from
really? Really? That's how it come out?
Yeah.
Were they
Elderly
talking about Biden?
Donald Trump waddled out to launch his comeback.
Were they talking about Biden?
No, they were talking about Trump.
Amen, break. And nobody's saying anything. You say that about Biden and everybody goes crazy, you know.
Right.
I mean, you know, here we go. And I'm telling you, Facebook, you dirty bastards, are gonna let all the bullshit that they want to say against Trump. But you know, all the shit you cut out about Biden and shit, we all got 3 days in a hole, 30 days in a hole. Probably Cisco sometimes longer. You know, you're going to allow that shit with Trump. Now, do I think Trump should run? No.
Yeah.
Do I think DeSantis? Yes.
I agree.
But now I'm hearing that they're kissing and making up.
Who?
DeSantis and Trump, but I don't believe that. Weren't they just sparring the other day?
I don't know.
I mean, I got to move to Florida. Now that your hurricanes, that hurricane changed my mind now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Peppermint Patty's in the news.
for what now?
She filed a motion in federal court in Alexandria seeking to quash a subpoena, saying that she had no relevant information to provide and that a disposition would place an undue burden on her.
Deposition.
This is for a deposition. And the deposition is about how the government or the Biden administration used the internet to silence part of the growing MAGA extremist.
With Facebook. She was one of the ones that met with Facebook.
Right.
That is in, and I think she should have to go be
Well,
deposed.
it's already been decided that no, she don't have any relevant information. The judge,
She was the fucking press secretary.
she doesn't have any relevant information.
Who fucking decided that?
The judge, whoever, the Louisiana judge, has agreed with her.
For congressional?
The Biden administration conspired to silence conservative voices on social media.
Well, yeah. We know that it's going through congressional hearings.
Well, she don't have to.
Well, the media don't. She should be the first one deposed.
No, she's not going.
How do these people get away with all this shit? She was named in meeting with the group from Facebook. Every 2 weeks, wasn't it? Every 2 weeks they had meetings.
Right. I don't know why we're freezing up like that.
Well, it's got you all out of sorts, don't it?
Yeah, yeah.
There's his OCD, people.
It's killing me. So I do have good news though, out of Ohio.
You know why we're freezing up like that, but go ahead with the good news.
Good news is Sandra O'Brien, District 32 in Ohio, whatever that is, wherever that's at. She's submitted a bill that would expand eligibility for educational choice scholarships and to increase the existing income tax for homeschooling expenses from $250 to $2,000.
Really? State representative, district what?
32. So it's called
District.
Enact Parental Educational Freedom Act. Are you
She's a
texting
Democrat.
it to somebody?
No, it's down by Cincinnati.
Okay, check that out. All right. So anyhow, she's helping anybody that's homeschooling. You were able to get a $250 credit. Now you can get a $2,000 credit if this thing passes. It was just submitted not that long ago.
I'm all for it. She's a
too.
Democrat. She's a Democrat.
Okay. And Swearengin has the other one on parental rights in school, which you might want to watch this clip.
Oh boy.
So.
Oh boy. Tammy ain't on tonight, so we're all right.
So this is
Xanax has got a chance tonight.
This happened in Minnesota. And it's a middle school 7th grader. And here we go.
Don't let go. No. Not even doing anything. No. I was knocking back. He's stuck in the closet. Can I have help? We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Okay, end it and send it to me.
What was it?
That was a 7th grader locked in a closet while the teacher basically proved that you can bully whoever you want in school. She put him in there. Now, this is kind of just breaking like last week. So the Jackson County Central School District just found out about it like a week or so ago. So they're investigating it.
Where at? What state?
Minnesota. That was, and the people who read this is all or watched it are like, this is a teacher bullying a child. 7th
Should be
grade.
charged. She should be charged.
Well, once the school seen it, they put her on leave, and they're investigating it. I don't know how far along they are in the investigation, but that was a 7th grader locked in a closet.
What do you mean we're dropping out really bad, Jill? I don't know what he means.
What's that?
We said some shit earlier in the show that I'm sure isn't liked right now. What's new?
I can't take it.
It is what it is. Oh, wait, she should be charged. That's, you know what? If I was a police chief, okay, that's kidnapping.
Yeah.
Or unlawful, what do they call that? Containment. What is that? Where you lock someone up. It's unlawful to lock somebody up against their own will when they've done nothing wrong.
Wrongful imprisonment. But,
yep, that's it.
Okay, and this is geared more towards the ladies out there. Would you allow your daughter to wear this? This one in the middle. This is a dress. Do you have any issues with that dress?
Well, we don't see it on her.
Well, I know, but she's holding it up saying, my daughter wore this dress.
The t-shirt she's wearing's
well, don't look
less
at the mom.
than a dress.
don't look at
Well,
the mom.
I'm just saying.
Right.
The t-shirt's less than a dress.
Right.
What's wrong with the dress?
Okay, well, according to this school,
how far down does it go?
I think I don't know that answer.
See, it doesn't, you don't see all the way down.
Well, yeah, but that wasn't the concern with this school.
Okay.
The school, they wouldn't let, it's a 7-year-old, eat lunch because her straps were inappropriate.
On that dress? Put that dress back up.
Yes.
What the fuck's wrong with the straps?
I'm wondering that as well. But she could not go to lunch because they were inappropriate, according to this.
Okay, did she get her lunch somewhere else in another room?
The dress code. No.
There we go now. Yeah, child abuse too, Randy. That could have been child abuse along with about 3 other charges on that.
They kicked her out of lunch, and the mother asked, did you get to finish your lunch? To which the daughter replied, no.
So we got another case like what happened down to you.
What?
When that boy wasn't allowed to eat lunch, remember?
Right, exactly. Yep.
And we're not doing anything about this. So the more this shit goes on, the better that bill becomes from that lady out of Cincinnati area for a while.
Exactly. A lot of people will be moving to that, I'm sure.
It's that close for a lot of people to homeschool because of all this shit,
Yeah. I don't know what the back looks like either.
Yeah, but they said the straps, arm straps. I mean, what? Yes, you missed the training. We'll put a picture up here in a minute of our assistant to the Secretary of Energy. Just for you guys. I even brought it up. Where's Chaz when you need him? Oh, here comes 3 days, Chaz.
Well, Disney tried their hand at having a what's it called? The main actor. The main actor was gay,
Mickey
and
Mouse.
they they suffered one of its worst theatrical releases ever with the latest animated movie Strange World, which brought in just 18.6 million over a 5-day holiday weekend, despite being heralded as the first Disney movie to include an openly gay main character. So there went Disney.
But the prince can't kiss Snow White because that's offensive.
There you go.
Pepe Le Pew gets taken off because it's offensive.
Right.
Yosemite Sam's too violent. But Grand Theft Auto's okay.
Yes.
You know, and like I say, the prince can't kiss Snow White because she's sleeping, and that's offensive. But we can have an openly gay Disney, and that's okay. I want to know, yeah, I don't.
How do you animate gay?
Here, just to show the people over on the right side, an animated gay movie from Disney. Who's that offend on the right side? Just say yes if it offends you. You know.
Got a question for you.
What's that? No, not yet. Not yet. Actually, I'll be honest, I forgot all about it.
Look, there's sexfind.info.
New private dating chat. New private dating chat.
Okay, it's blocked, everybody.
Here you go, Chaz. You talk about trainings on that.
Right. You're bringing them in.
Yes. See, look, here we go. Yes. Yes. You know, that offends you. Yes. But what do we, where's our voice in any of this anymore?
Well,
where's our voice?
Like I said, I don't know that
we have
we're ever going to have one.
It's gone. This administration, going on 3 years, you know, is totally destroyed more than just the economy and everything else. A reputation in the United States, they've destroyed everything on this side of it. Nobody really even looks at that, Doug.
Right.
They've went with this woke. Now we got, you know, fucking trannies, assistant secretary to the health, you know, about the ugliest son of a bitch. Isn't even a good looking tranny, fat, and she's the secretary to the health assistant. What's her health plan? Eat a couple cheeseburgers in the morning, 5 more at lunch, and then double it up with a whole pan of lasagna at night. You know, and then you got the assistant secretary to energy. Put a picture of that thing up again, would you?
Yeah, 1 second here. That thing. This one?
That one. There you go, Chaz. That's your assistant secretary to energy. How do you like that? How do you like them apples?
Isn't it beautiful?
And then to find out a felony, you know.
Right.
I mean, hey, don't matter what your record is or what your credentials are. Are you transsexual? Yeah, we need a couple of them on my cabinet. Come on. You know, I got to get the transsexual vote in 24. You know.
All right. Well, if you thought that was bad, here's something else, and I'm only gonna play a very short part of this. And honestly, this was on Dr. Phil. So
Hashtag No Bull Show. Start putting it in, guys. Big D's Pizza.
yeah, let me set that up.
Yeah, you're right, Don.
Hashtag.
Government don't work for us. The government fucks us without any KY.
Right. Yeah. Hashtag No Bull Show. Got it. We're ready. Take it. Get them in there. All right. So let's watch this, because this guy is just going to tell you what's on his mind. Wait till you hear this. All right. Here we go. We need audio. We need some audio. Hold on. I got it.
I don't believe that poor.
Oh, why can't I get audio?
You had audio.
I did.
Yeah.
You could hear it.
Yeah.
I don't believe
You
that
can hear
poor
him
people should
talking?
be having children. Having children when you don't have money creates more problems for the kids and society at large. And let's be honest, it's the middle class and, more importantly, rich people that are not responsible. An unpopular truth, but I believe that every person should pass a test proving that they're income worthy prior to having kids. It's a false narrative that's being sold to people that you're entitled to have children and you don't need the resources or the money to be able to pay for them or support them. Having kids is way too easy, and the people that's having the most kids tend to be the worst people in society. I think it's irresponsible, and just because you don't like it don't mean that it's not the truth, and you're not entitled to have kids just because you can.
Well, okay.
All right, we'll leave it there.
Does China come to mind, Doug?
You have to take a test to prove that you're able to take care of kids.
Half the motherfuckers take a test. It would take a test when, population control. Shit, when I had Chad, I don't think I'd have passed that test. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like China. Remember? Can only have 2 kids. That's it. Simple. They were only allowed, what, 1 or 2 kids or something like that?
Right. Yep.
And they were, and not to get into bad things, but families that ended up having a second girl, there was babies getting murdered and trying again to have a boy because of that.
Right.
What kind of society are we living in? Yeah, well, I don't disagree with that, Randy, but I believe that when we start telling people that if we ever went to being able, you got to take a test in order to have a child, and you're not allowed to have a kid. I don't know, 1, how you would control something like that. And 2, the only way to control something like that, you'd have to be a communist country. And that's just point blank simple. I mean, who the fuck actually can afford kids when they have them? You know what I mean, Doug?
Right.
When you have kids, you struggle. It's just part of having kids, it's a struggle, Then they get to be 23, 30, whatever. It's still a fucking struggle. You know what I mean? Not being sarcastic, but part of having kids is you struggle. Simple. There's no test that you can take to prepare to having a baby. Right. Every baby's different. I mean, come on,
Right.
There's every kind of issue come out, allergies, different things that can happen. Give me a fucking break. We've lost our mind. When was that on?
when was it on?
You're right, Robbie. God makes that decision. There's higher power. It's just like, I had this conversation on the way to Kalamazoo, Michigan, with a couple people that thought I was crazy for going up there and driving in an Enduro. If my ticket was pulled, it didn't matter if I drove to Kalamazoo and jumped in a race car or sat in my chair. When my number's pulled, I'm going that day. Debbie'd walk down the steps, see me blue in my chair, or I get crashed up at a track. The time and date's already decided when you're going, in my mind, in my opinion. So it don't matter. I mean,
that was on either earlier today or yesterday.
Fucking Dr. Phil had to go to town on that one, huh?
Yeah. All right, you want to give away some pizza? Something good?
Yeah, let's see what Dean Henry, supporter of the show. Thank you, Dean. Big D's Pizza, Clyde, Ohio. Some of the food. Just
so you know what you're getting into.
Imagine that. That's first tonight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. You got it.
Well, there you are. Here's. Go ahead. Let's. Then I'll get to Aaron. Go ahead
and roll the dice.
Roll the dice. Dean Henry, Big D's Pizza, Clyde, Ohio.
Greg Miller. There you go. It's worth watching tonight. Is what?
He ain't racing no more. Winner. Drive up to Clyde, Ohio. Come on, honey, I'm taking you to dinner. It'd be worth the drive, I can tell you that, Greg. So, Aaron has 2 kids. You think he's prepared? Shit ain't hitting him for everything that comes at him, Doug? You can prepare and everything else, but, parenting's hit him right in the ass, some things, this broke that, Jesus, listen to him, they ain't behaving, they ain't, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You just sit there and laugh, say, yeah, right. It don't matter what you prepare for.
Yeah, remember those times where you wait till you have kids.
Well, yeah, right. But the thing of it is he's got 2 other grandbabies and are spread out a little. I know I'm gonna get in trouble. I think Scarlett's 3 and Bella's 8 or 9. But I mean, they're spread out a little bit to where he's starting to catch it from one end to the lower end. Yep. And shit hits them. And that's what I mean. What do you take a test for some of that shit?
You look it up.
9. I mean, I said 8 or 9. But
covered well. Somewhere between the ages of 1 and 10.
Yeah, there you go. But there's no test you can take to prepare you for that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's no, you could have financial stability at the time you have these kids, and then that don't mean you ain't going to lose your job 2 months later after, what fucked up people think of shit like this? You need to take a test before you have a baby. You need to kiss my ass before I beat yours. I ain't taking a test. If me and my wife or me and my girlfriend or whatever want to have a baby, we're going to have a baby. A lot of times, it's one of them, oh, by the way, honey, guess what?
Right.
The guy at the drugstore must took a pin and popped the rubbers.
When you get home, I got to tell you something. Okay. What?
Good news and bad news.
Right.
Your dad's going to be a grandpa. That's the good news. The bad news is I'm pregnant. I mean, seriously. How many people on the right side? I know Aaron and Kelly tried for Scarlett, but when the kids come, planned on it. And planned at that moment to have a kid.
Right.
Some of you might. There's a lot of you is, you know,
Right.
What do you mean? You know, we're still living in an apartment.
Yeah, we knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, well, might as well get out of the way, you know. But financial stability, there's no such thing when you have kids and you're in the middle class. You know, you could be going along good and then broken arm, going along good, braces. You know, you just keep naming shit off that happens. You know, oh, my daughter's in cheerleading or dance class. Well, it costs this much, you know. Who fucking thinks like that, Doug? We have a population out there thinking like that because this is the second time.
Right.
This second time. Remember what we played a few weeks ago about abortion? That woman, said the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, unbelievable. Oh my God, we're living in a fucked up society. Whatever.
Well, now your next generation of America's top doctors could be more concerned about a patient's race than previous generations.
What?
CRT has hit that area now, and the medical school education is in crisis, with social justice and race-focused activism being imposed on students, faculty, and staff. And that's like very recent.
So what are they saying? That there should be more black allowed to be doctors than white? Is that what? Because we're going from one black guy saying you should have to take a test to have a baby to you shouldn't have to be tested out to be a doctor.
Well, it's more, I guess it's more about what they're more concerned with, which is racism or race. What your race is my patient black or white today?
Listen, if I got a black doctor or a white doctor walks in, what do I give a fuck as long as they're going to help me? Am I wrong?
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So next week, here's a teaser for next week. Prestigious Connecticut private school educator details sexual fantasies with high school students. This is a quote from him. Quote, "They spread their legs wide open, and that is just brutal," unquote. Possibly means me losing my job. This is a Project Veritas investigation, and we'll get that next week.
Oh, boy. Them Project Veritas people, I tell you what, they're good people.
They get right to the root
They
of it.
expose a lot of shit, man.
Well, the other one that I'm looking into is the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services whistleblower reveals that tax dollars are spent to put children in the hands of criminals, says government complicit because we don't get sued by traffickers. And that one's coming up.
On Project Veritas?
Yes.
So the Epstein getting exposed?
Yeah, as much as he's gone, he's getting exposed. What's going on? You know what? The hotline going up?
It's Joe Biden.
That Joe. Hey, Chris, I was watching your show. He
I heard
told me
you
I
said,
could suck my
listen. I dealt with corn pop. I ain't afraid to deal with you.
Right. Wow.
What else we got?
That's it.
We'll keep it short.
Yeah, we've been on an hour and a half.
Yeah, that's so.
And let us know throughout the week. You can message us if you want to go. What are the days?
Tuesday or Monday or Tuesday?
Monday or Tuesday. What are the times?
7:30, I think, because then we're done by 9. You know.
Right.
I mean, what's the difference? We're on Sunday, but I think 7:30 through the winter is a good time. We'll try to keep it to an hour and a half. Sometimes it goes longer, depending on how Doug gets me wound up. But
no, it's what you just
for
said.
you deer hunters out there, Tuesday.
Go hunt.
For all you deer hunters out there, good luck. I ain't heard a whole lot of shooting. And I can tell you, I believe, opening day in the morning, you always heard booming all over. Afternoon, booming all over. Yesterday, I didn't hear shit, except for my 2 shots when I missed. Tonight, I went out, didn't hear shit. I'm going to attribute it to this. Doug, a lot of people ain't taking off work to go deer hunting because inflation. They can't afford to take off that extra day or two because price of gas, price of groceries, what have you, Christmas coming. And we all know toys went up.
You got to process it, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Cost of processing the deer and everything else. But I don't think that's it. I think it's the cost of gas, cost of groceries, cost of Christmas, where you get a toy for, just $10 last year. It's $15, $18 this year.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got a few kids, that costs one. You just can't afford to take off. It's a ripple down effect, and whatever. I mean, good luck to anybody that's going out during the week or this weekend. Be safe. Don't want to see no hunting accidents. It's Lord forbid the government will say that next. So other than that, see y'all next Tuesday, Doug. I think it's been spoken.
Yeah. Yep.
So Tuesday at 7:30, we'll come on. Doug's been tied up immensely lately. It's Christmas stuff. If you guys are down around Steubenville, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right, Doug?
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Stop in Port Steubenville Mall?
Port Steuben Mall, yeah.
Port Steuben Mall. Go ahead, Doug.
Yeah, if you have a wheelchair, you can go up the ramps.
Up and down the ramps.
And and the mall. But there's a whole program going on. You can see Santa. Got bounce houses in there. Got a Project Christmas with 12 different areas that the kids can go in, make Christmas bulbs and write letters to Santa and make reindeer food. Didn't know such a thing existed, but it does.
Yep, and Screwy Louie's.
Screwy Louie's is open in the mall. It's got an arcade, party room, mini golf, and Nerf gun arena. So
that's what Doug's been endlessly working on for the last 6 weeks. So
yeah, for real.
That ain't no bullshit, people. But so if you're down that way, stop in and see him. Support Doug. I don't know who gets down that way, but I drove down that way, and I know I realized why he hated that ride to Sandusky every week.
Right. You didn't like the hills and valleys. I didn't like the flat because it's just so mundane.
I pulled in and I go, you know what? I hate this shit when you get down here, the goddamn hills, and you got to drive 10 miles to go 3 miles because you're driving around a half a mountain and da-da-da-da. That goes, I couldn't stand it when I got up there. It was so damn flat. And
right.
All right, people. Thanks for watching. We'll be on next Tuesday, 7:30. I got anything else, Doug?
That's it.
All right. God bless you all. God bless America. Thank you.
See ya.